Hello.
Hello.
Hello, Veronica. Hello, everyone. Welcome. This is the NgoVo ConVo podcast. I'm Harrison, and I'm joined by, as I said 2 seconds ago, Veronica.
Wow.
I just need to clear my bases, okay? Because we are both wanting an excuse to talk about anything that entertains us, but really to clean up our never-ending backlog, which we did today. We've been doing it really well. Who would have thought? Not me. Look at us, 2025. But Veronica, some would say that we're conversing.
Wow, like NgoVo ConVo and NgoVo ConVo. Logo's above Harrison's head. He's pointing as usual.
Per usual. Gotta make sure you guys can read, because I can.
Can't.
You can watch every episode on youtube.com or listen to it as a podcast by searching up NgoVo ConVo on your podcast service of choice. This video is also sponsored by Olipop, but we'll get into that later. Veronica.
Harrison.
For once. For the first time this year, actually. Sorry. For the first time this year, we're doing a review.
Yes.
On something that's DC.
You know, for a first time in a while.
And
not
that is
this year.
not my fault whatsoever. That's not the point here. I still have to catch up on some other stuff. But we are actually doing, I guess, review on Creature Commandos. I guess it's the first.
It's the first season.
First season, but also like, I guess, is it the first? No, it's not officially the first.
James Gunn said it is
the first new thing, right?
Yeah. The start of his DCU.
Gunverse.
Yes, his Gunverse.
Sorry, DC. Yeah,
DCU. Yeah,
Gunverse. But if you haven't seen it, it's on HBO Max. I keep doing that. I had to clarify it, but it's Max. But I like saying HBO because some people don't. I'd like to believe some people don't recognize Max because Max. No, it's fine. People get it, I think. I don't, but that's not the point. I don't either. Go watch it there. It is really short. Veronica, like, I didn't realize 7 episodes, 20 something minutes, and that's it. I was like, whoa, that's quick. It's like a movie, actually, if you really wanted to.
Yeah. That's a good way of putting this season.
Yeah. Yeah, it was like total runtime, like 2 hours something. Yeah. Not including
super quick.
And that's including intro, like the intro and like outro. So it's really fast. I finished it like in a couple days, actually during my lunch break.
He actually watched something I recommended to him. Putting it on record.
She's salty. But if you haven't seen it, we will get into spoilers at some point after our non-spoiler thoughts. Yes. So like this video, keep it for later, come back, listen to it. But initially, we're going to give our non-spoiler thoughts. I also want to, I guess I'm trying to do something else. So I'm going to give a quick thing. It's Creature Commandos. Came out 2024 technically, but it finished last week as of recording. This past week?
The 9th, yeah.
9th? Yeah.
Yeah.
But it is the first project from James Gunn's like revamped DCU. It is kind of an action comedy series, but it's animated. And it's mostly focused on like supernatural monsters, characters, and all that from the universe. So it's like kind of like he does this thing where he picks like these C tier like characters. But they make them like
A tier.
Like, yes, honestly, there's some random stuff, like random like characters you wouldn't have expected. So we'll get into the details, but I guess what I will say, I do enjoy the fact that it had like an overarching plot, but literally each episode, and Veronica did say this to me, it's pretty much episodic in the sense of like each character gets like a focus almost.
Yes. That's what I enjoyed the most.
That was my favorite part about this. This made it like introduced us to characters, but it gave us the quick backstory with like flashbacks or like, actually majority of the time it was just flashbacks.
It was just flashbacks, yeah.
And giving us an insight of like who the character was. Like the main ones were
The Bride.
Well, first off, Rick Flag. Too. Senior.
Super hot guy.
Voiced by Frank. So at first I listened to his voice. I'm like, why does this guy sound like
Who is
somewhat
this
attractive.
Yeah.
And I looked at it, I was like, oh yeah, it's him. Yeah, Frankenstein, The Bride, Weasel had a comeback.
Yeah.
GI
Robot.
I can't remember the
Nina.
Nina. It's mainly the atomic dude.
Yeah. I don't remember his name.
Give me a second. I thought I pulled up.
Oh wait, Dr. Phosphorus.
Yeah, Doctor. Yes, thank you, Dr. Phosphorus. Yes.
And Amanda Waller, which we all know.
Yep.
And don't love, but no.
But no. But dude, it was really funny like all across the board. I think the one yes, you convinced me to watch it, but I saw a clip that like just had me full send, and I was like, the GI robot.
You're like
clip?
the GI robot. Like,
yep.
Yeah.
I wanted to watch that solely for that. And it was funny because I actually saw like a clip, and I didn't realize it was related to one of the characters, but it was, and I'll go into detail and spoilers, but it was the last episode.
Oh,
I thought it was an Invincible thing, and I was like, oh, okay, cool.
That's interesting.
Because it also kind of, like, the art's almost like it, but not fully. But the premise is there, right? But it was a flashback as well.
Oh, yeah. I didn't think about that.
Yeah. That was what I, like.
That's interesting. Yeah.
I'm just keeping it, like,
I love DC animated stuff. It just gets fun. Better and better.
Yeah. They do a good job in that they know what they're doing, and you don't expect it to be dark, but it's dark.
It's pretty heavy. It's
very heavy, and it's like the brutality's there too.
Which is, what all DC people would want.
Apparently.
Violence.
Violence. But I definitely recommend this to anyone. Like, this is the start, right? If we're truly talking about like DC Universe, like reboot, like starting from scratch, quote unquote.
Yes.
Not really, because it is kind of confusing because you're like, well, there's Weasel here, and there's some characters that it does tie into like some of the older stuff, but it's like his older stuff, like James Gunn older stuff. Yeah. Right. So he has some sway. It's like, oh, we're gonna use this too, I guess.
Yeah.
Because they do allude to stuff.
Yeah, how James Gunn explains it is that it's, think of it as just like we're kind of like restarting everything. So like Creature Commandos is like the first thing on that list. Mm-hmm. And like,
ease you into it.
Yeah, he's easing us into, Superman. So
yeah. But got any other thoughts you want to add?
No. I thought it was just really fun.
Yep.
It was short and fun and sweet, and I think it was a good introduction from James Gunn.
Yep. I'm glad you convinced me.
It's just a running joke now,
No, but you truly did convince me.
No, I did.
You're like, yeah, go watch it. Yeah. I wasn't really planning on it, to be honest. I just didn't know. Because, it's like Creature Commandos. And I'm like, okay, cool. I guess it's like. I thought it was going to be more like straight up a horror. Not horror. What is it called? The Halloween universe. You remember like they had like
yes.
Halloween Scream universe? Halloween universe? I don't know. It was like the movies, right?
Yeah.
So, because I saw Frankenstein, I only saw like Frankenstein, Miss Frankenstein, like those characters.
Oh, you're scarred by DC. Just a little bit.
But so then I read that this was yes, it was there, but this is the start, so I wanted to give it the correct like mindset. Like, okay, this is coming in fresh, right? So, on that note, we're just gonna go into spoilers in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Oh wow!
I know, but plot-wise, Veronica, I like how majority of the time we were in it's like that one country I can never say it correctly, even though I saw it the entire time.
Oh, I can never say it. It's like Polkolistan. I don't know.
Yep. See,
something like that.
Yeah. But I enjoyed how like it really did just feel like a Suicide Squad movie.
Yeah, and I think that was really his purpose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He does. It's because he, it's funny because he did Guardians and then Suicide Squad, so it's just like it just feels like he's got the flow,
the rhythm. This, right? He got the rhythm right.
He's got the rhythm. Yeah. Better wording.
I love Rick Flag.
I was literally about to say, I'm like, dude, I didn't expect Rick Flag. So it was funny because, again, I didn't know how much they were gonna pull or connect.
Oh, like connect, yeah.
Didn't realize that they really were just gonna do Rick Flag's dad.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, okay, cool. I thought it was gonna be some alternate thing, but no, straight up like Rick Flag is dead,
dad.
and that's his dad, and they made you super aware that like, yep, that's tied in. Oh, cool.
That's what I like about James Gunn. He's really consistent on like still connecting his old work and every character. So I think I really enjoyed that, and it kind of eases people in from like DCEU or like Peacemaker or wherever else they've seen stuff. So.
Yeah, no, it's true because like the world building is there because there's already been some establishment. So maybe that might be like that could deter some people where it's like you do kind of have to watch, like you mentioned, Peacemaker, Suicide Squad. I think mainly those two because those are two IPs that he's worked on, right? So because I don't think there's any other.
I'm trying to think. I wanted to say Harley Quinn, but not really.
Not really.
Not really.
I didn't feel like you'd have to know Harley Quinn stuff.
Yeah, no.
But yeah, no, I think the world building and the plot was really good. It was fun. Just the main thing I really enjoyed about the plot, like I said, we got the backstory and everyone. It made me like care more about these characters, right? Because I really went in not expecting
not expecting anything.
Shit. Yeah.
I was so surprised about Weasel. Like, I didn't expect that.
Yeah, that was depressing. Like,
yes.
Because they kept talking about, like, oh, he's killed, like, 26 children. It's like, well, no, really, like, 8. Is it really 8? And then you learn that it wasn't even the case. I'm like, oh, it's like, everyone's just misunderstood at the core of it.
And I love how, like, Weasel or John Doe's attorney is just like, come, I found you. Come here. Just like treating him like a dog, but also like a human. I thought that interaction was just hilarious.
Yeah. All the characters were just fun, right? It was just great to see. I think the one that I mentioned, GI Robot was my interesting one because I saw the clip of when he got to be with that one dude who wasn't in the military. Who ended up being a part of a neo-Nazi type.
Yeah, the neo-Nazi. Oh.
I love how
you got introduced there.
I got introduced there and I saw that clip real fast. I'm like, all right, I have no idea what's going on. I gotta watch this.
Wait, that's like a really funny clip. No wonder you wanted to watch it.
It was so out of context. But then he was like, but I understood like G.I. Robot was like from World War II, so obviously all he cares about is killing Nazis.
Nazi, yeah.
And then all of a sudden he's like, oh, this is great. I get to be a part of this group, blah, blah, blah. Oh, Nazis. Proceeds to kill everyone.
How G.I. Robot's just like, are you a Nazi? Are we killing Nazis today?
Are we killing Nazis? No, they're not Nazis. That's what a Nazi would say.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dang.
And then he does like the squinting thing. He's like,
Yeah. He's like, another favorite character that just rose up was Frankenstein. Frank.
Oh my God, Frank.
Best friend.
That remind me of Toto from Jujutsu Kaisen so badly.
Dude, I
love how he's just like, gotta find my bride.
And I didn't realize it was David Harbour. That's voiced
you
him.
didn't?
No,
Yeah.
initially, right? Until I started listening, because then he wasn't really there.
He wasn't really being David.
But then, I just love how unhinged Frankenstein is, right? But the
and
twist
being
on
friendly to Rick.
out of nowhere,
out of nowhere, that 180 was crazy.
Yeah, they're best friends, and Rick was like, oh, so funny. But yeah, Nina was the one that I saw accidentally on her backstory too. Just the baby part.
Oh, just the baby part. Okay.
Like how she was born with like lung. Dude, again, ouch.
Yeah.
Sucks. Lungs born, or the lungs were outside. I was like, ugh.
A little gross.
Yeah.
And sad.
Yeah. I think the voice acting was just really good here too. Like it just felt like it was just good. Like I don't know what else to say other than like it just felt very like heartfelt, but also equally comedic, and the line deliveries are just really good.
And it was short. I think that's why, I feel like that's why everyone was just so, like, emotionally, like, voice acting. I think that's probably one of the reasons,
Essentially, it's easy to tell someone to F off.
Yeah. Basically.
But getting into past voice acting, animation was also just a cool art style.
I enjoyed it. It was different.
It was like a mix of the... It's not Batman art animated, but it's more like the new stuff with I forgot what the series is called now.
From Amazon?
No. Oh yeah, actually kind of.
That one, right?
Kind of.
Sort of.
It's more like the hard lines.
Yeah, it was very hard lined.
I don't know. I can't remember all of a sudden what because they tried to do it with their recent DC animated stuff, but it's not like Harley Quinn either. Exactly.
No.
But kind of too at the same. Well, it's actually more like Harley Quinn. I take it back. No.
I like the color scheme.
Yeah.
It was very, very colorful.
But also dark at the same time.
Yeah.
So it was more gothic, if anything, because there was a lot of like they made horror nods. It's more horror thematic, if anything.
Mm-hmm. And I didn't know that a kitchen mitten could hit so hard. If you remember Rick and Dr. Phosphorus.
Dude.
I saw that, I was like, huh. That's one way of using like the...
I like how the princess
mitten.
has like daddy issues.
Yes.
Granddaddy issues.
Granddaddy issues. Not even daddy issues, the granddaddy issues.
Okay, plot-wise, did you expect that at the end? Because they kept teetering on like, oh, is she not?
Yeah.
And I was like...
I sort of expected it, but what I didn't expect was Nina's death.
Yeah, that was really sad.
You know, that was sad, right?
Because then G.I. Robot didn't die.
No, G.I. Robot did not die.
So I was just oh, dang. That's crazy.
I was shipping them so hard throughout the season.
I know. Like, it was true. Like, Nina was like that good one out of all of them. So it's just sad that she had to be the one to die at the end. Like, truly.
I'm so sad.
Yeah.
And knowing James Gunn, she will not come back.
It's got to hit you hard.
Yeah.
But I think the unexpected main character was really, not Frankenstein. What's her name? Mrs. Frankenstein? I don't remember what they called her all of a sudden.
They called her the bride.
The bride, right? Just the bride?
Yeah.
They didn't say anything
just the
else?
bride.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I didn't expect the bride to be like kind of MC the entire time. If you pay attention.
Yes. Yeah.
It was kind of like going back between like Rick Flag and her.
Rick and her, yeah. But I think I started noticing that because of her backstory was like super long.
Yeah.
And
it was a whole episode.
It was It's the last couple,
episode.
Half. Because, you know, Frankenstein's involved and, yeah. Or should I say Frank?
Frank. I like how it's Frank, but then also the voice actor is also Frank.
Yeah, Frank.
I was like, that made it easy. Let's see. Yeah, overall, I think I kept going back to the plot because I think it was interesting, right? Because use of characters and all that was good. I think let's take a quick break. I'm trying to be good about this to talk about our sponsor.
This episode is sponsored by Olipop, the soda your gut will thank you for. Yes, I'm talking to you, all of you. All right, have you ever missed that classic soda pop feeling? You know, the fizz, the flavor, but without the sugar crash and the guilt trip. Yeah, me too, you too, Harrison too. All of us. That's why I'm introducing to you Olipop, the soda that's bursting with flavor and good for you too. I actually have my favorite one here, strawberry vanilla. But the other weird one that I enjoyed was banana cream. I know, it's weird, super weird, but this is my favorite. Number 1, because it only has 3 grams of sugar per can, plus it has 9 grams of prebiotic fiber. And you know what you need with fiber? To use the restroom. Hee. But yeah, that means that you're going to have a happy and healthy gut with every sip. And it looks like that they took everything we loved about classic soda and upgraded to a modern, healthy conscience person. Like you, like me, like Harrison. My co-partner. my co-host that's not here right now. So ditch the compromise and experience the soda revolution for yourself. Don't forget to use our promo code NgoVo15, NgoVo15 to get 15% off your first order on drinkolipop.com.
And we're back.
Wow. So thirsty. I actually do have Olipop in my fridge. So funny.
You didn't bring it this time?
Next time.
What did we just talk about? We talked about kind of voice acting and all that. Okay,
yeah. How did you feel about Clayface?
Unexpected, but it made sense.
Yeah.
Talking about Themyscira, and then like, see the moment the moment the professor started talking about stuff, he's like, "Oh, what do you like? Oh, but what about the lesbian?" I was like, "What?"
It just turned left field. You're like, "What?"
Yeah. But because like when you they first introduced the professor character, it was just more like, oh, I get.
He's just
like,
kind of like there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I didn't expect the twist because they showed it like when they showed like the bride and all of them looking at the screen, you see a monster, but you didn't know who or you just see like a person, right? But I didn't expect. That's why at the end I really did kind of. It wasn't super surprising, but it was like a nice, like, okay, cool. That's the through line of like, okay, at least they figured it out. They kept revealing stuff over time, which was really nice.
Yeah, and they're making a Clayface movie. It's coming out next fall, like 2026.
Oh.
Yeah. So I think that's probably why they're introducing Clayface now.
Interesting.
It's going to be like a horror film. Like
that makes sense because it is kind of... It would make sense. Yeah.
I mean, Clayface is pretty gross if you really think about it.
It matches the tone though because it's like everything's like horror right now too. So I guess it was a good introduction because if they're introducing that, do you know if any other characters are getting?
That's the only one.
That's the only one, right?
Now.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was surprising, but that makes sense. It gets you. They essentially introduced the world for that too.
Yeah. And that fight was brutal. That living room fight with Rick. I was like, oh.
Yeah, I was. Again, the show does a really good job with going back and forth between like, hey, it's just a comedy.
Yes.
But we're also like an action, like not just action, but like kind of brutal action, right?
Yeah, the way Rick's like elbow was bent, I was like, oh, that's so gross.
Yeah. Oh.
They even showed it. I was like, nope, can't do this.
But I will say, I think because we keep jumping to different points. Did you have a favorite character backstory? One that like I say backstory because it felt like each episode.
Yeah. I would have to say Weasel. I'm gonna stick with Weasel.
Oh, okay.
I think it was just really sad.
It was.
And I think he just can't communicate.
He already can't communicate as is because he's just Weasel, but
he's just a little freak.
It made it more depressing.
Yeah. No,
but
it's really sad.
It is sad when like everyone's like, I wonder what he's thinking about. And he's like,
and then he's like dreaming and
about trauma.
But the trauma.
Yeah.
How about you? Do you have a favorite character? Backstory?
I think unexpectedly, I think Dr. Phosphorus was kind of unexpectedly cool. But it was really funny because then I'm kind of biased because Batman got cameoed.
I was just going to say, was it because of Batman?
I was like, oh shoot, that's so cool.
You're like, Batman, that's it.
But they didn't show who it was because they can't. Pain.
Because they're still deciding whether or not Matt Reeves' Batman is in the universe. Even
though he's just writing right now.
Yeah.
So they really have time to figure it out. I'm trying to. Yeah, I think they just had a really good balance because I think every character got to have a spotlight in a sense.
Which is what I really liked. I think when you're starting out with like a redoing a universe, I think that was like a really smart move on James'
Which,
part.
hilariously, they started off with a group, which you could say like some people you had an idea of, but the majority of them you're like, I don't know who this is, or I don't know how they're going to portray this character.
And you know, I think every time we talk about like a superhero group, we always complain like, it's too many people, or it's just too like stretched out because everyone's like, you know, everywhere.
Again, this is a show, so lo and behold, it worked out. We had time to get to know the characters and build a relationship. Wow, it's like we went on multiple dates and figured it out.
Harrison's not salty about certain superhero groups.
It's fine. It's fine.
It's fine.
It's okay.
Yeah.
But overall, I think the story was really easy to follow, though.
Yeah, I think that was the intended purpose, which I find really nice.
I have to bring this up because it feels like we're so ingrained in like all these like comic book universes where you have to keep up or you have to know so much, while here just kind of laid out everything. And that's the only reason why I bring it up, because I'm like, plot wise, story and everything is just like really fun because it wasn't too, I guess that's the other thing, it wasn't too crazy. It wasn't too much.
Simple enough to introduce this cast, but also like the complex part of it was also there. Mm-hmm. If you knew, you know, what James did in the past of like Suicide Squad, or if you know like Harley Quinn, Batman, like those Easter eggs did, you know, come in. Yeah.
I think that's the one big thing is like if I were to recommend this to someone, it most likely would be someone that does enjoy Guardians or
stuff.
Not just these, it's like even Guardians, like if you like that vibe of like comedy and action, except this leans more towards DC in a sense of it can be more brutal, and that DC's not just known for that. I'm not saying it's just like what we've had recently with DC, right? What we've been exposed to, like show and movie wise, right? It's always more dark, so this is just easy for that kind of stuff.
Are you excited about season 2? Did you know there was season 2?
I didn't know, but I already had a feeling after watching it. I was like, cool. New team. Easy. Because King Shark, what was it? King Shark is there now. I was like, what a dumb haircut. Is that what he said?
Yeah.
Dumb haircut. I was like, dang. They set her up so well to be like team lead. I was like, that's good.
I loved it.
I was like, that's awesome. And then J-Robot came back after Phosphorus. They brought back that bat lady.
Bat lady, yeah.
I was gonna look into that. I was like, maybe that's because there is like man bat.
There is, yes.
So I don't know if this is a twist on that, right? So.
You know, knowing James Gunn, it might be.
Oh, and Weasel's there too, of course.
And
Weasel's just easy.
Don't forget Weasel.
Because we gotta have his brother voice something, you know. Gotta have that in.
Obviously. Yeah, but I mean, season 2, it looks like it won't come out until next October.
Halloween.
Yep.
Just in time for the vibes.
Just in time for the vibes. But also, I think for the Superman release, Supergirl, Batman, all that stuff coming out.
That makes sense. I know of Superman for sure. I didn't know like timeline for everything else. I'm like at this point where I don't know if I should delve in too hard because then I'm worried I'll shoot up my expectations.
Your like standards would just go a little higher.
Yeah.
When you can just go in just in the dark.
With the lowest of lows. Well, I also don't think that's fair either. But you know, it's fine. Do you have any? Because it seems like we're pretty positive about it. Do you have any cons or like, I guess, criticisms for it?
Not that I can think of. I think it was just really well done. Yeah,
I think my only, because jumping on the season 2 question you had, I'm hoping that it doesn't.
Are you hoping they keep the same vibes, or are you hoping they explore more?
I think because I feel like the main like driver point was this one was kind of introducing characters.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if that... I don't think it'll be a crutch on that. I think he'll do a good job in not having to just focus on backstories the entire time.
Yeah.
I'm just curious how that will work in the next season, right?
Because there are new people.
There are only a few new people.
Yeah.
We've already had I think half the team majority of the team we've been introduced to. It's really just 2 new people.
2. I was going to say 3, but I think 2 cents.
Wait, who's
about
the
right.
third one?
No,
because I know.
you might be right.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But we'll see. It will be fun to see because I think it's Suicide Squad's a very easy thing to, and I've seen if you've seen the previous animated movies, it's such an easy way to segue into random stories or introduce random characters and all that. Harley Quinn's doing it really well. Let's be real. They're bringing in random characters that we don't really have to care about too much, but then we do somehow. But we'll see. Because I think it's hard for me to have criticism because I do like dumb humor.
Yeah, it's up your alley.
It is right up my alley.
It's right up your alley.
So,
but also we haven't really reviewed a lot of DC stuff in a while.
So
it's just
maybe
it's good
there's
to
other stuff we should watch. Comment down below. What did we miss? I know what I missed.
I know what you missed.
2 things. I already know 2 things on the top of my head. I'm we haven't even.
I know 2 things you missed.
That you've already watched.
That I've already seen.
I'm bad. But I think overall, fun. Good start. Good watch.
Yes.
Easy. 7 episodes.
Yes. Prepping us for Superman this summer.
If you're being serious about it, I don't know.
No.
Definitely is quirky. It's just I think it was an easy start. Because it's something he's used to doing, turning a cast of C tier people to make an A tier story, and make you super engaged, and also cry at the same time.
It's what he does. This is his.
I only learned about these characters in the last 4 hours, but now I'm bawling my eyes out. Not 4 hours, last hour.
Last hour, right?
Because GI Robot died halfway technically, and Anita dies at the end. I'm dang, this is depressing. But good job, I think. You got anything else?
I don't. I'm just ready for season 2.
I'm ready. Yeah, I can't wait. Can't wait for more. I just can't wait for more DC. That's what I'm really here for.
That you'll watch? That you'll watch?
Well, since you don't have any closing thoughts, thanks for tuning in. I'm going to just go ahead and close this out. You can follow us on all our socials at NgoVo ConVo and NgoVo ConVo. If you're on YouTube, comment down below. If you're also just as excited, or did you not like the show, or I don't know, was it not your cup of tea? Did you not care?
Let us know in the comments.
At this point, if you watched through all this, I would like to think you did.
Yeah.
Because you're kind of curious. So I say just jump on it, right? But don't forget to give this video a like. Hit all the buttons from right to left. Right to left. Trust me. It'll make sense. Mainly, and not that subscribe, Other than that, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.